adult, the genre I have a love-hate relationship with. The books I love sweep me off my feet like nothing in the contemporary romance genre really does. But then there's just a lot of WTF in this genre too. If it's bad, it's apocalyptically bad. Like Scorched Earth, this should never have existed in a million years. Why would you write this book? So let's talk about the books I've read in this genre lately and where they all fall in that spectrum. Smut by Karina Hale. I don't know. Smut by Karina Hale. I was really excited for this because, come on, this premise, Amanda and Blake hate each other but are matched as writing partners in their creative writing class. After a surprisingly successful collaboration, Blake comes up with what he thinks is a brilliant idea. Why don't they make some quick money writing smut with a capital S? I was super excited for this premise, so I think I'd hype this one a tad too much in my head. Still, a really fun read, just didn't meet the overblown, out of proportion expectations in my head. Mostly, I think the ending could have used a bit of finessing, but this is all niggling. Still my favorite new adult book I've read in quite a while. I made it to the second book in the My Favorite Mistake series, My Sweetest Escape by Chelsea Cameron. Joss was the perfect teen until one day she was just not. Baffled, her parents ship her off to live with her sister till she shapes up. Then she meets Dusty, a boy with saggy pants but a heart of gold. This wasn't bad. I actually really liked the character of Dusty. Kinda an unconventional leading man, but I've never really connected or cared about Joss. So, Abby Glines keeps writing books and I keep reading them. Seriously, how many books does she release in a year? This one is Like a Memory, Seabreeze meets Rosemary Beach, #1. Tagline, one memory, one special summer. Really? That's what you went with? Bliss York became very, very sick as a teenager right after having a wonderful summer fleeing in Seabreeze with Nate Finley. And then she basically ghosts him because she had leukemia and that kind of overshadowed everything else in her life. So he thinks she jilted him and is understandably jolted 7 years later when he walks into his fiance's new boutique clothing store and finds that her new employee is none other than Bliss. Classic Abby Glines, lovely soap opera elements, but this one managed to stay on this side of over-the-line obsessive lover behavior that some of her other books can quickly veer into. I approve. Okay, Lost and Found Book 1 of the Lost and Found series by Nicole Williams. This made it onto my new adult TBR because it's Western new adult, and I'm always interested in any twist to the new adult genre that takes it a step away from the typical book in this genre. In this one, goth girl Rowan is exiled to Montana to work on a ranch. She was not counting on the family being super nice and having a super hot son. And in summary, there are parts I liked, parts I did not. I guess I'm conflicted on this one. I may read on, I may not. I bought this as a set, so I have the rest of the books. Has anyone read the rest of the books and can tell me how they are? Preston's Honor by Mia Sheridan. Mia Sheridan specializes in hard luck stories and tray melodramatic soap opera style new adult, which I can enjoy my life every once in a while. In this one we have 2 identical twin brothers. The description reads, though I loved them both, my soul belonged to only one. Oh my god. Analia Del Valle, I do not know how to say that. Analia Del Valle is the daughter of an impoverished migrant farm worker who has grown up as an outcast. Growing up, the neighbor twins on the Sawyer farm are her only friends. Then they grow up. Some things happen. She disappears for 6 months and then she comes back for the baby she left behind. Preston, the twin she had the baby with, is understandably a little pissed. Not as enthralled with this one as I was with Archer's voice, but still, if you need a little heartfelt melodrama in your life, this isn't a bad way to get that fix. But I do still like some of her other work better. The Boys of Summer by C.J. Duggan. This is early new adult from 2012. It feels like a coming-of-age summer book from the 90s, which is halfway awkward and nostalgic at the same time. And it is so slow. I had to drag myself through this book, and then the ending is so quick. The resolution is all, I know I was really epically upset. Matt, now I'm just not. Because we've got to end this book really quick. I was not sold on this one. Real by Katie Evans. Remington Tate, great romance hero name by the way. Remington Tate is a disgraced boxer with anger issues who now fights underground. Our heroine is a runner. I think she's a runner. I thought for a while she was a skier, but I think that was my imagination. Anyway, her Olympic dreams were dashed after an injury, and she's trying to rebuild her life around sports therapy. Guess who hires her for her first job? Yeah, the guy with the anger issues. I think I'm just too old for this level of dysfunction. I'm gonna stay, even if he hurts me. It may not be a life mantra to pass on to other people. Circling back up with one of my favorite new adult series of all time, wait for you, we have book 6, Fire in You. Jillian had a huge crush on Brock when they were younger, but of course he only saw her as a little sister. By the way, huge romance trope alert here. I need to make a list of the books with this cliche in it. Any suggestions to add to that list? Anyway, he does something really insensitive one night and she ends up getting shot. Not really totally his fault, but his idiocy sure did not help. The book picks up years later when he walks back into her life. I stayed bitter at Brock a wee bit longer than Jillian did in this story, but really overall I liked it. Another fun addition to the Wait For You series. Killing Sarai by J. Redversky. We'll go with that. When Sarai was 14, her mother uprooted her to go live with a Mexican drug lord. Now, years later, all she wants to do is escape. Victor is an assassin who stops by the compound to get an assignment, and she sees her chance to escape by stowing away. Will he turn her in or help her escape? Compelling in some ways, overly dependent on stone-faced brutality for effect's sake in others. I cannot decide if it's worth picking up book 2. Any thoughts on that decision? Neighbor Dearest by Penelope Ward. Apparently a New York Times best-selling book. Chelsea moves next door to a guy who reminds her a lot of her ex, even if he is the hotter version. She dubs him Angry Artist, and his 2 dogs bark all the time. That's about it until she figures out that he's been eavesdropping on her through a hole in the wall while she talks to her therapist, which in retrospect should have disturbed me more than it did. So anyway, that immediately moves their friendship past acquaintance stage. He gives her tips on how to get over her breakup, which she doesn't really need because she's falling for him instead. I'm really starting to enjoy Penelope Ward, which is a feat as I've become increasingly jaded the more romance books I read, but these are fresh and fun. The Perfect Game #1 by J. Stirling. Tagline, he's a game she never intended to play. Cassie wants nothing to do with baseball jock Jack, but Jack has other ideas. They're both super messed up, and they're about to be messed up together. Ugh, this is poorly written. It's a soap opera, but not in the soul-searingly emotional way, but in a let's put as many cliches in here and hope it equals emotion way. Bashing of the entire female sex other than our heroine was a bit much as well. Lick, Stage Dive #1 by Kylie Scott. This is a new series for me. Evelyn wakes up in Vegas and finds herself married to a rock star and has no memory of how it happened. That's where we start and the story unfolds from there. Okay, this type of premise makes me roll my eyes, but it was a compelling rendition of said premise, so I'm kinda hooked now. This was good new adult. Alrighty, what else in the new adult genre should I be reading? Which of these have you already read? And which ones do you agree or vehemently disagree with me about? Let's talk about it.